Hey, good morning, everyone. Coming to you live today from a town in Washington called Renton, but it has something really, really interesting in it. This is where the Jimi Hendrix Memorial is. Now, this was put up, I believe, by the Hendrix family, and it is located in Renton, Washington, in a cemetery, the Greenwood Memorial, if memory serves correctly. Now, it's not just his memorial, but it also is the resting place of some of the Hendrix family. Now, Jimi Hendrix was, everybody knows, obviously, from songs like Purple Haze and his Star Spangled Banner during Woodstock, but arguably one of the most talented guitarists ever to play the guitar. What a lot of people don't realize is that he actually was also in the Army. However, his ability to be in the Army comes from the fact that it was join the Army or go to jail. So, Jimi Hendrix joined the Army instead, rather than go to jail. As you can see, and from the note from his family, a lot of mementos by a lot of fans. It's a really, really well-constructed memorial. And yes, he is definitely one of the best guitarists ever to have lived. Easily. And the memorial actually has a really interesting feature of a sundial right here. Now, typical Washington State weather, it's cloudy. You can't see it. This is not a huge memorial, so there won't be a lot of time here, so make sure you hit that like and follow. But this is the Jimi Hendrix Memorial here in Washington State, in Renton. If you want to see it, it's actually very, very accessible. In fact, the cemetery is not very large, and the main entrance is right there, and his memorial is a center point of the entrance. Now, I'm going to go up and down all the parts of it and really show you the memorial, so hopefully you guys like and share this as well. But it really highlights Jimi Hendrix's life as an artist, not necessarily as his whole life perspective, but definitely from his artist perspective. This memorial does a very good job encapsulating his artistic life. So again, ask any questions you have about this area and how to get here, and I can help you out a little bit. But this is his memorial in Renton, Washington. Completely open to the public during the cemetery's normal hours. Like I said, I'll be going up and down all the three parts of it. But inside is just this beautifully carved granite and marble features. You know, with the guitar obviously at the center. Now, Washington is home to actually a couple great guitarists, Kurt Cobain being the other one, and Jimi Hendrix. Again, they're both some great guitarists, great artists whose lives were cut tragically short. So you can see that all these incorporate things that he either said or sang in his songs. In fact, these are some of the lyrics, if I'm not mistaken, that were copied down from his original writings, of this case, Voodoo Child. I'm going to turn it sideways here so you can see a little better. And so that's why I think this really encapsulates his artistic life. As you can see, a lot of individuals like to leave lipstick kisses on there. I don't necessarily agree with that because of the oils and the grease from the lipstick, as you can see, is really doing different things to the sculptures. Correction, not sculptures, but the etchings. Again, these notes here are taken from his actual writings when he was writing his songs and his poetry and things of that nature. But yeah, this is the memorial to Jimi Hendrix, Renton, Washington. Wow, Dennis, you got to see him in person. It's kind of amazing. I'm far too young to have seen him in person. But here's the sundial I mentioned a little earlier. It is telling roughly accurate time. It's kind of partly cloudy today, so you can kind of see the shadow. But this is the Jimi Hendrix Memorial here at Washington State. Now, this is also where some individuals of his family and him are resting, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard it both ways, that he's here and that he's not here, but I've never heard definitively one way or the other. So I've gone on with the assessment that he is indeed resting here. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. So I'm going to walk around the whole outside so everybody can see it. It's a great, great memorial to Jimi Hendrix and the impact that he had on the rock and roll life and, well, the music scene altogether. Not many people could play the guitar the way he did easily. You know, obviously, many people know Voodoo Child, Purple Haze, and probably most iconically his rendition of the national anthem at Woodstock. So he is, yeah, I would agree, he's definitely one of the, if not the father, one of the fathers of rock. And his memorial is, and I'll show you here in a second, it's right as you enter the cemetery. So there is no looking around for it or anything of that nature. Like Bruce and Brendan Lee's graves, who are in Seattle, you kind of have to drive a little bit deeper into the cemetery. Mr. Hendrix here, his memorial is right as you enter the cemetery. It's dead center. In fact, I'm going to turn around right now. This is the main entrance to the cemetery right here. Hey, if you like this, make sure you hit that like and follow. I do a lot of really cool stuff like this. Hopefully I can keep going. But I'm going to make one more entrance into the memorial and then call it. But very, very easy to find. Send me a note or a comment so I can let you know how to find it. But it's in Renton, Washington, and honestly, if you go to Google Maps or Apple Maps and type in Jimi Hendrix Memorial, you'll find it. So I'm going to do one more quick walk for everybody who got here late. We're in Renton, Washington today. You're with me, the Wandering Historian. In case you're wondering, yes, I am back from the Netherlands, been back for a week or two. But the experience starts here, and I can't stress this enough, because he was such a cultural icon. Hang on one second. Oh, sorry about that, Landon. Send it again. But because he was such a cultural icon, the family has put this up so that everybody has the chance to enjoy and experience his memorial in the same respect. So if you do come to visit here, be respectful. Make sure you don't leave it littered with trash. But I remember Jimi Hendrix as the soldier and the musician, and as my wife and I have always said, any truly great artist has tragedy, and unfortunately his life did have tragedy in it. So we're here again at the Jimi Hendrix Memorial in Renton, Washington. I love this detail. It wasn't here last time I was here, but the purple on the walk up to it, the main walk up, is just a really, really neat detail. I'm going to show you everything in here one more time before I have to end the live. But we're now in the center of the memorial for Jimi Hendrix. As you can see, people do leave a lot of memorials and mementos. I do not agree with people doing this. This will piss me off anytime to any artist. They've scratched it in his memorial. So that will piss me off. It has 3 sides, and on each side you have a portrait of Mr. Hendrix. And obviously up here, I want to make sure you guys can see this. He and his father. And then Jimi Hendrix is a baby. So I'll pause on each one so you can see it. But right below them, you'll see that there is a spot where they've recreated his writings of songs in poetry so that people could enjoy his words again. So here's the second one. I get some bad glare, and you'll see there's some dots on there. If you come here, please don't kiss his portraits with lipstick. The oils from the lipstick and the human body, obviously you can see, are damaging the etching portraits. This is Jimi Hendrix. I'm at the Jimi Hendrix Memorial. You can see here, this is some lyrics to Voodoo Child. And this is the last panel on here. Again, you can see it's been really heavily kissed like the other ones. So if you do come here, please don't do this to his memorial. I am in Renton, Washington. Renton, Washington has the Jimi Hendrix Memorial here. And here's the backside of the guitar. It is a very, very good likeness to a guitar he would have played. I cannot recall. I heard one person say it is an enlarged exact likeness, but I cannot recall that. And again, if you do come here, please don't do this. They're here to visit Mr. Hendrix and pay homage to his memory. Don't deface his memorial like this, please. And again, these are taken from his actual writings, and they put them down into the etchings. And then finally, on each side of the exterior, yeah, I believe he is resting here. I've heard conflicting reports on that, but I believe this is also where Jimi Hendrix is resting. You have his signature here. You have this memorial picture here too. Yeah, I bet they can buff it off too. I just wish they didn't have to buff it off. I find it really disrespectful to someone that's particularly of Jimi Hendrix's caliber to have someone have done that to him. I get you want to have a lasting memory of him, but defacing his memorial is not the way to do it. All right, so one last look before I go. I believe he's resting right there. Thank you all for joining me today. Hopefully you liked that quick video and live feature. Like and follow for more like this, and I will see you again next time. Happy wandering, everyone.